Little bit for Noumena. I always love learning new words, and this one I've never heard before, and I think it's so important for me to see the scenes where they were exploring the words in this book. It is so well done, it's not rushed, it's very harmonious. And then we have those fantastic special effects, both visually and sound. It's getting into a new reality and such a magic moment. I enjoyed it a lot. This is short, but I loved it. It's we don't have any words spoken. However, we have a very powerful word to choose and dive deep on. So I enjoyed it.
I like Noumena. Um, I thought it was deep without being long-winded. Like it, I think with the quote at the beginning, it drew it drew you in. I think and set you up for the juxtaposition of the library and then all of the books and all of the graphics to make your point and then get out. And I rocked with that. I rock with that because um a lot of times films like this tend to be like overly long. Also, I wanted to shout out the graphics, the visuals. I thought they were striking and uh, 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 emotional. Not emotional, but like they were striking in that they created a reaction. Like they were like, "Whoa, look at that!" And I think that's kind of the goal. Uh, Also, the sound design was really good. So I wanted that to not to go unnoticed. So yeah, overall, really well done. Great job.
Noumena was a particularly interesting short film to watch because I hadn't heard about this word before and I liked philosophy, so it was learning. It was a learning experience, and the whole concept, the whole visual concept the filmmakers bring to this project is incredible. I mean, it's a very short piece, but the visual effects are terrific. I thought it was a bit like Inception. It reminded me of Inception at some point, and it was a very trippy experience. It's a very interesting short film to watch. It leaves you thinking a lot about the Noumena and philosophy and what the filmmakers are trying to say with this piece. It's not particularly a clear idea, but as the film itself explains it, it's more like something you need to experience to learn. So it was an interesting piece. I quite enjoyed it. Thank you for showing it.
This film has fantastic visuals in it. I really enjoyed it. It was something that was really something to behold. It's not something I was expecting. I know it showed the definition at the beginning of this phrase, but it's really like when we were all in college, we daydreamed a little bit, but this really showed what was going on inside her head. It was absolutely amazing. And college would have been so much simpler if we could all do what she did, where she sees a word and visualizes it in her head. The graphics in this really were cinematic. It kind of took you out of this world a little bit while keeping you in it. It was unexpected, but absolutely wonderfully done. It really captured the eyes. It was just fantastic.
A thing as in itself not to be perceived or interpreted or incapable of being known, but inferred from the nature of the experience itself. Noumena is this quiet, simple story of an individual in the library and the objects of manipulation at play end up having this abstract, surrealistic type of approach to the short film as we get to see essentially the roof break into pieces, a pin float in the air, the bookshelves stretch and become thin. These elements that we know to be as one thing to be altered in our perception of reality into another. And it's sort of bright and not necessarily colorful, but the colors are to be more profound from what seems to be a more muted color palette that the color grading goes into the film when she is essentially alone in the library during this quiet moment of time, but in her mind, the reality is it seems bright and movements are loud and just kind of getting that sense of snapping back into reality and going about the rest of your day.